On a seemingly normal and unassuming day in April 1991, police find the body of a young man who in the days prior had been telling friends that something had been trying to kill him. So what actually happened? Did he scare himself to death with a story that was never real? Or was there something more dark, something more sinister at play? Join me as I delve into the mystery surrounding the curious death of Christopher Case on yet another episode of the Unsolved Files. Christopher Case died on April 17, 1991 of a heart attack. He was discovered the next day when his concerned friend called the police to report Case missing. Upon entering Case's apartment, police was met with a scene that could only be described with a single word: eerie. It genuinely looked like either a movie set or some insane person's house. There were crucifixes hung everywhere on the walls, and salt lined the base of Case's apartment's walls. If you know your way around demons, then all of this together screams one thing, and one thing only. Case was trying to keep something out of this world, out of his apartment. Something evil, something terrifying. In the days leading up to his death, Case made a number of phone calls to one of his friends who lived on the other side of the United States. The same one who would call the police and report Case missing. In each phone call, Case made it very clear that he was being stalked by something, and by April 17th, so 5 days after everything started, Case predicted his own death by stating to Sammy, the same friend, that whatever was stalking him was going to kill him that night. And unfortunately, he'd be right. Exactly a week before Case's tragic passing, he was on a business trip in Los Angeles. There, he was introduced to a woman who appeared to be roughly 20 years older than Case himself. Now, it is important to note here that Case was not outgoing. He was a music executive, and he was interested in spending most of his time by himself, listening mostly to ancient Egyptian music. What I am trying to say is that Case was not looking for a romantic partner. However, this woman, whose name he to this day did not know, was repeatedly trying to get Case to, quote, go to her place. After Case politely refused this request numerous times, the woman stood up and declared herself to be a witch, and that she had put a curse on him. He was going to die within the week. She then walked away and left Case sitting there, speechless. For the first 48 hours, nothing happened, but on the 13th, Case started to hear whispering in his apartment. At first, he thought that it may be a burglar, and he flipped his apartment upside down, only to find no one. For another 2 days, Case experienced the whispers during the night, and he was so terrified that he could not sleep. On the 15th, however, he would, most likely because of pure exhaustion, fall asleep, only to wake up a couple hours later, paralyzed. As he lay there, he hears the whispering again, moving about the room. Suddenly, a black humanoid figure emerges from the foot of his bed and starts strangling him. It lifts Case up by the neck, and just as he's about to pass out, the figure disappears, releasing him, making him fall back onto his bed, where Case eventually falls asleep. In the evening of the next day, the 16th, Case is presumably startled by something so much that he leaves his apartment entirely and goes to a hotel to sleep there. I would assume that he was actually able to sleep there semi-peacefully, as he did not report experiencing anything there. A day later, so on the 17th, Case made a phone call to Sammy in which he stated that, quote, "Tonight, they're gonna kill me." I don't have any information regarding why or how Case knew that his death would occur that night, and searching for any has not yielded any results. Regardless, Case died that night of a heart attack. While we do not know everything about this case fully, we can make a few assumptions by using the information at hand. First, we can safely assume that Case died from fear or sheer paranoia. This would only be possible, however, if Case had an underlying medical condition which caused his heart to be weak. That would explain why he allegedly took vitamin supplements daily and exercised regularly. Anyway, what I assume actually happened, and the reason as to why Case died, is due to something he potentially unknowingly consumed during the particular dinner he undertook with some of his colleagues in San Francisco, the same one where he met the strange woman, which led him to have hallucinations so lifelike he died from a non-existent threat. Alternatively, what that woman said and how she acted could have played a role in a deep-rooted mental illness to spontaneously developing Case and cause him to have a psychotic break and have lifelike hallucinations that way. For either of these explanations, I am roughly 60% sure, as there just isn't enough information to go off of. If there'd be slightly more clues to look at, then I could probably craft a better explanation. So, we have the answer. Case, either from something he consumed at that dinner, or because of what the woman said or how she acted, had a psychotic break where he had hallucinations and believed them to be so real, he went to a religious bookstore and bought crucifixes and salt to decorate his apartment with. He then presumably died from the amount of fear he was experiencing that week. Alternatively, I could be completely wrong, and this is a true case of demons acting to the command of a real witch. However, I would not assume that, since I have a better chance at proving my proposed answers than proving demons to be real or fake. Whatever the real answer is, we may never find out, since this case only had one witness, and he tragically died. And I truly feel sorry for Case and his friends and family.